Tonight, the storms are long gone, but they leave behind a trail of destruction.
You can see from this bird's eye view several homes and businesses were ripped to shreds when a tornado swept across the southeast side of town. It's believed the twister started in the Pasadena area, then moved to Deer Park, then across the ship channel to Baytown. The National Weather Service will survey the damage tomorrow to confirm exactly how strong it was.
And tonight we have crews spread across the hardest hit areas of Pasadena and Deer Park. Marcelino Benito kicking off our team coverage tonight in Deer Park. Marcelino.
Well, Len and Mia, large parts of Deer Park look like an absolute war zone tonight. Homes and businesses destroyed, debris everywhere, but somehow city officials say no one was seriously injured or killed.
I heard like a bomb.
It only took minutes.
By the time I got to the door, it was black and I could see debris just flying everywhere.
For a tornado to rip through the heart of Deer Park.
When we came out, we just saw everything was in shambles. Trees are uprooted, roofs are gone, side of the buildings are gone.
The damage extensive, the survival stories remarkable. The roof ripped off this apartment, a woman pinned down by a flying door, rescued by her neighbors.
It's pretty scary, to be honest with you.
And around the corner at this strip mall off Center Street, it doesn't get much more Texan than riding out a tornado in a pickup truck.
He said the airbags deployed, and he sat there and just kind of held on.
While Lauren Green huddled in a destroyed medical clinic with other patients, his teenage son had nowhere to go as the twister hurled chunks of metal and debris everywhere.
All this rock and everything was flying through the back windshield, so it's a good thing he didn't get hurt.
In the aftermath, disbelief at the destruction. Businesses and homes shredded.
It's horrible everywhere right now. It's bad.
But gratitude, no one was killed.
And I'm just grateful to God that he was able to protect life in here, and so we'll deal with the property and we will recover and rebuild.
And Deer Park's mayor tells us tonight both Deer Park ISD and Pasadena ISD will be closed tomorrow so they can further assess the damage and work to get the power back on. Back to you.
All right, so much work to be done. Marcelino Benito tonight, thank you.
All right, let's turn to Matt Doherty, who is also in Deer Park tonight, where a nursing home had to be evacuated. Matt?
Thousands of people in Deer Park are still without power tonight. Traffic is still a mess because every stoplight in town is still out. The mayor's asking everyone to stay off the roads because there are downed power lines on the roadways throughout the city.
The biggest scenario right now is San Jacinto Manor, an assisted living center, had some significant damage.
Deer Park's mayor says emergency crews scrambled to find places for the elderly residents who lived here. 3 residents were transported to the hospital this afternoon, 4 of them taken by family members. The others were taken elsewhere.
And the remaining constituents, residents, are being transported to 4 other facilities in the region. There's approximately 62 residents that are impacted in that facility.
Not far from where they were waiting, near Deer Park High School, the power of the storm is clear in what's been left behind. Vehicles nearby were smashed and flipped on their sides by the tornado when it touched down. It's pitch dark along Center Street, the main commercial thoroughfare in the city. There is no place to eat. This Walgreens is severely damaged, now roped off by police tape. A security guard inside keeps watch. It's among the many businesses and buildings that were severely damaged by the tornado. In Deer Park, I'm Matt Doherty, KHOU 11 News.
We got an extensive look at the damage from above when Air 11 surveyed Southeast Harris County this evening. After the storm cleared, we finally got to see the path of destruction. In Deer Park, we saw roofs ripped off structures and scattered across fields. We got a good look inside several classrooms at St. Hyacinth Catholic Church, where walls were toppled and the roof peeled back. Right next door, a nursing home had a large section destroyed when the tornado came through. An apartment building lost its entire roof and much of the second level. None of the units inhabitable anymore. A strip center also took a hit. The top of this Little Caesars is half gone, debris covering the parking lot. Many homes were torn apart as well, from chunks of the roof missing to downed fences and debris in pools, and even a shed destroyed. As the sun set over widespread damage and debris covering the roads, residents no doubt have a long road to recovery and rebuilding. much of the area in the dark tonight, waiting to get their power restored. In the distance, several refineries flaring after losing power, stabilizing their facilities, which they say is not a threat to the community.
Boy, oh boy, the team coverage continues in Pasadena tonight, where the Red Cross has opened a shelter for displaced homeowners.
Janelle Bluda is in a neighborhood off Yellowstone Road. Janelle.
Everything from homes to cars to trees. Neighbors here in Pasadena are sorting through the debris after what some call the scariest moment of their life. A home shredded to pieces, someone's roof dangling from a branch, an entire tree ripped from the ground. Snapshots of the destruction on just one street in Pasadena.
We couldn't see anything. It just went white. Everything went white. Explosions were happening. It was terrifying. It really was.
A powerful tornado cherry-picking houses to hit. Some neighbors came home to find the damage.
You're expecting some vents falling down, maybe a couple bricks knocked off, maybe a broken window. Not the whole second story of your house completely gone. That's a little shocking.
Others were inside when it happened.
It was the most scary thing, in my life, but thank to God that we are here, sound and alive.
Maria and Ishmael are sleeping in a hotel tonight after the tornado ripped the roof from their home, while Jeremy and Hillary are completely rebuilding, the tornado not leaving much to save.
We were safe, nobody got injured, and stuff can be replaced and rebuilt, so I was happy for that.
The Pasadena Salvation Army is providing help and meals to those affected. We're told the Red Cross is also assisting. Back to you.
We certainly feel for those folks as they begin to rebuild and recover. Janelle, thank you so much. Now, I'm Maria Aguilera, also in Pasadena tonight, where the city animal shelter took a direct hit from the storm. What is the latest on all those animals, Maria?
Len, all of those animals are doing okay, but they do need a place to stay. Now, the damage here is extensive. The strong winds from that tornado lifted and ripped off and pulled the roof off of the animal shelter here while staff and animals were inside. Right now, the staff is next door at the adoption center where they've been taking in donations and finding ways to care for those pets. Pet after pet moved out of a damaged shelter by volunteers, just moments after the Pasadena area was hit with strong winds from a reported tornado. The damage to the shelter made it uninhabitable for about 70 animals who had to be moved into crates at the adoption center next door. Some animals were picked up by rescue groups, others by the Houston Humane Society, but the shelter will still need help. While the repairs take place, they'll be in need of more people to foster these pets. The Houston SPCA came by to take in 20 cats tonight, and if you are wanting to help by fostering a pet, you can email the Pasadena Animal Shelter or some of the other rescue organizations. We have that information on KHOU.com. Guys, back to you.
We'll pick it up from here. Maria Aguilera tonight, thank you. And as we mentioned, the storm also caused a lot of damage in Baytown. A gas line ruptured, sending flames shooting into the air. Crews kept an eye on it until CenterPoint crews could shut off the gas and cap the line. Several buildings were also damaged and power lines fell on a few roads. And here's a look at the cleanup in southeast Houston. This is along Kirk Lane Street near Sagemont. You can see a tree toppled over onto an SUV. Crews had to block off several streets in the area as well due to down power lines.
Some good news tonight. The Gulf Freeway is back open after down power lines forced crews to block the southbound feeder and main lanes at Fuquay. Traffic was backed up for miles there while crews worked to remove those lines. My goodness gracious. But again, the freeway, once again, open. CenterPoint says they are deploying 24 crews to the Pasadena Deer Park area first thing in the morning to start restoring the power. As you can see from CenterPoint's outage tracker, about 40,000 customers still without power tonight. AT&T is also bringing in a temporary tower to help with first responder communication after their tower was destroyed.
It is